Anyway, hello, hi, welcome to a story time. This video is called The Lighthouse. Reason for that is because, well, actually, let's just get into the story, okay? This is in relation to, nearly getting adopted by those of whom I call my parents in Texas. Biologically speaking, the people who raised me, absolutely horrible people. Just very bad people. Not only like neglective and abusive, but also anti-LGBTQ+, anti-witch, racist, just very, very bad people. So yeah. So, in a land far, far away, I got a teacher who, was who's very cool. I'm biased. I'm really biased. I can't, hold on, how do I start this story? The most obvious. I got this teacher, and I got 2 of his classes back to back somehow. And it's not supposed to happen, so I was like confused, and I was like, and in the first class I had him, I was like, oh, by the way, I don't know if this is like a glitch or something, but I got your class two classes in a row. It makes sense if you have a teacher for one class and then they teach another class and you have them later the day, but it would never normally happen. I went there for 3 years, it never would normally happen where you'd have both and they were just back to back. Both of the classes seemed like the same classes to me, so I was very confused. And it seemed like a glitch, or destiny. I choose to believe both. But, that was the thing. I talked to him about it, and he was like, oh, okay, cool. We can get that sorted out later. And I was like, okay, no problem with me. I mean, and then, and it was a language arts class. So, I think I had a couple friends in his second class, his first class. And I have one friend in his second class. And he had in his this story. So I've never told the story in full length before, but at some point he switched from one class to another classroom, full time, for all of his classes, and he had a Black Lives Matter poster, not a poster, Black Lives Matter flag, and I thought that was really cool, and a rainbow Texas flag, I think. It was really cool. It was a rainbow, either American flag or it wasn't American. I think it was Texas. But it was really cool, and it was up on the wall next to the Black Lives Matter flag. And a lot of teachers are like, if you have nowhere to go after school, at least at my old school, if you have nowhere to go after school or at lunch, then you can come and sit in my classroom. And if you want to do your homework there, you can do that. He talked about a lot of cool stuff in class. It's just fucking language arts stuff, but I thought it was cool because I'm a nerd, right? So, and then, anyway, sorry, I'm easily distracted. So, one day me and my friend, decided to stay after school to help him decorate his room for Halloween. And fucking 30 minutes in, my friend was like, I'm bored, I'm gonna go walk back to your house. So she did. She just left and went to my house whilst I was still there. But it was fine. And we decorated his room. And then, at some point, I just started staying behind after class because the person I live with had a job where she wasn't off until like 2 hours after I got off of school. So I'd either have to walk to my house, take the bus, which is a no-go for reasons I'm not getting into. Transphobia, also a very creepy man. And so it was just better to stay after school, and do a little homework sometimes, but mostly just ramble to him about my entire life. And one day, I was there, and then I was just sitting there, and I was like, I just told him my entire life story. I think he asked one question, and then I told him my whole life story. Which my life story doesn't yet. It sounds like an origin story because it is. It's an origin story. And I'm still getting to the good part. Okay, we're getting there. So, yeah, told him about a lot of the shit I grew up with, and mostly the shit that I was in. With the person I live with and the person I lived with, same person. Bad things. Yeah. So told him my life story, and then it was just a thing where I'd stay after school, and some of my friends would join me in his class, and he'd be doing his work, and I would just sit there and just talk, and sometimes draw or write. I wrote a lot because I like writing poetry, and he said one of the best ways to get like better at writing is quantity over quality. So just make a bunch of them, and don't worry about how they sound or if they're right or if they're perfect. Just make a bunch, and you'll get like the rhythm to it or something like that. So yeah, and then a couple months in, he said something about yeah, I tell my wife all of these stories, and she was like, no, well, maybe we could just adopt him. And if you've seen the movie Matilda, just trust me, that's related. Girl with superpowers gets adopted by her teacher from her horrible, abusive family. That's the story. And I, to his surprise, was like, hell yes! Oh, fucking adopt me! You both are literally perfect parents. Literally. And I don't mean perfect like never have made mistakes or never could possibly make mistakes. I mean perfect like you give a shit and aren't assholes and are very similar to me to the point where I feel like we are related. Harry Potter nerds. The mother is a Doctor Who nerd and a Harry Potter nerd. Their whole house is decorated in Harry Potter and Halloween-ish. And for Halloween on that year, they put up gravestones that said trans rights and stuff. Trans rights, black rights and stuff like that. That kind of thing. And they got on the news for it because Trump being shit. So we are related. You know. But then the person I live with, I tried to get her permission because I was 16. She would have had to sign over, and by the way, they are very supporting of LGBTQ plus ish and trans. No shit, LGBTQ plus shit and witchy shit. Very supportive and curious about it, which is very cool. And my dad's mum is, I think, a witch. So. Sorry, I was interrupted. By the way, if this video ever disappears, do not mention it to me under any circumstances. That's all. It probably wouldn't be for bad reasons, but whatever. So, I needed her to sign off, and she was the type of person who if something makes you happy, she has to destroy it. One time I went to her about how cute I thought a picture of a baby dragon was. It was an animated baby dragon. And I thought it was the cutest thing ever. And then she looked at me like I was the devil himself. And then yelled at me about how dragons are evil. And about how I'm evil for liking dragons and it symbolizes Satan. She's that kind of person. So, who might be listening at my door? That's why I've gone quiet. 1 minute. Long story short, she said no, threatened to make it to where I could never talk to him or see him ever again. But that was the day after we met up. We met up with him and his wife, my mum, at the local mall, which was Harry Potter themed, and she basically lied to them and said, oh yeah, well, I'll try with the pronouns and I'll try, and yeah, but it's evil and blah blah, and I really do love her, and I'm a man, so she lied, of course. Now because we're so far away from them, she feels a lot. She was a lot more okay with misgendering me and dead naming me all the time. Which, it was different in Texas. Like, she almost feared that they would just take me. She also tried to kick me out several times and told me to go live with them. But at that time, I kind of fucked up the situation myself, because I was like, okay, I guess we just have to put this whole lighthouse thing in the past. And my father was like, well, I'm always going to be here for you, and I'm always going to try to make this happen, because I care about you. Anyway, from that day, I have this, and we got this. My friend came with me, Alex. They came with me, and we both got one of these in the claw machine. Need to Breathe, Brother. That song was playing all the time around that time. And one of the lines is, guiding you like a lighthouse in the dark. That's why it's the lighthouse. In other news, whenever my mum writes me back, I asked if she is okay with me calling her mum still. Whenever she writes me back, I think she is. I could be wrong. I don't think so. But whenever she writes me back, I'm sending her this, the mom book. And it tells a bunch of cool mom shit that I stole from her. And I don't give a fuck, I'll do it again. So, reason I'm bringing this up at all, normally I wouldn't, or this would be just like a little antidote, dramatic past story thing. That's disgusting. But I got a letter from my dad in November, I think, and he said basically, Mum might be okay with me coming back and living there if I graduate high school, because she's afraid that if I come over there I won't be able to graduate because they don't live near high school or whatever it is. Also, she has her own business and he works in the house, so they don't have too much reason to continuously go places, I guess. So now I'm awaiting a letter from her, and my dad is also getting me River Songs journal for my birthday, which is next month. So yeah, very happy about that. So I'll update you guys. Probably won't explain nearly deep as I have in this one. This isn't actually very deep. the story of it. But what I'm looking forward to is one day on this channel I'll be recording in front of a very different window in Texas with my family. Sorry, I just realized my radio is playing through this entire thing. I like having background music. Also, it kind of goes over what I'm saying, so. But yeah, I have to go check the mail now, ironically. So yeah, thank you for watching. If you have any questions, comments, leave in the comments below. Yeah. Oh, also, I sent them a thing. The last letter was, I sent them both birthday cards, because I missed their birthday last year. Each of theirs. And, the letter I sent to my dad was like, part of it was, I'm thinking about changing, I am changing my name again. I was wondering if you guys could help me, because if someone's gonna help me change my name, shouldn't it be the parents of me? You know? Whatever. So yeah, thank you for watching. Yeah. If you have any questions or comments, leave the comments below. And until the next time, Geronimo.